Excel has any number of different techniques for reducing the amount of time required for data entry. I've got a sheet of paper in front of me with some city names here, also some sales. Eventually, we'll put this on a different worksheet. It turns out that the city names are recurring. I need to put in Boston in cells A2 and A3, also in A6, A7, A10, and we'll have other repeating cities as well. Rather than typing this once and then copying it multiple times, we can select the cells ahead of time and simply type the entry once. I've highlighted these two cells. I've let go of the left mouse button. With the control key now, I'll highlight cells A6 and A7. Once again, let go of that left mouse button. Control key is held down. I'll click on cell A10. And as I type Boston, it looks as if this entry is only going into that cell. But I won't press enter. I'll press control enter. Same entry goes in all those. We can do the same kind of thing with sales entries. Turns out these three numbers here and also one down below, use the control key again right there. All these will have the value 100. I'll type 100 and press control enter. And in this list starting in column D, this HR kind of list, in the admin training group, two of the people here have been offered full-time positions. David Diaz right here is hourly and Carol McGee down here is half-time. We're going to change both of those entries in column I to be full-time, but let's do it at once. I'll click on one of the cells, then with the control key, I'll click on the other one. These are in column I. I'll simply type full-time. And once again, as I'm typing here, it looks as if the entry is only going into one of the cells, but I'll press control enter, and both of those will have changed at the same time. And off to the right, a different use of the same idea. I want a total for the first half here. Also off to the right, I want a total. Hold down the control key here and highlight these cells. And rather than typing anything here, I'll simply click the Auto Sum button found on the Home tab off to the right. If you're on the Formulas tab, it'll be on the left side. Simply click it. At a later time, I change my mind and I want this to be a median instead, so I'll highlight the cells. Makes no difference which group we highlight first. Highlight these cells right here. Let go of that left mouse button. Then with the control key, highlight these. As I type median, for the moment, I'm only highlighting the data as if I'm doing column V. And I won't press enter. Of course, I'll press control enter. And the same entry goes in all these. So I double click off to the right. We see what's happening there. Then escape. One of these off to the left. Same general idea. Another technique, not so well known, is called autocomplete. And it's automatic unless you've changed a setting. And we'll get to that in a moment. I'm making entries here. Eventually, this will include different headings off to the right. The salesperson's names here are going to be repeating, but in a different kind of way. So here's an entry here, Lee, then Perez, then Smith. I'm about to type Perez again. P, the name pops in automatically. I'm about to type Smith, that pops in automatically. Next name, though, is going to be Parsons, and I don't want what I'm seeing here. I don't have to erase that. I'll simply type Parsons. And the next name is going to be Sanders. We see what's happening there and so on. Another technique for making the entry right now is to press Alt down arrow. And if it's one of the repeating ones, of course, I'll just use my arrow keys here, come down to this or that entry, whatever it happens to be, and enter. And another technique, I'll right click on the next available cell and choose Pick from drop-down list. And this time it's that one. So a different way than we saw earlier. Now this technique works only within a column and it only works with text. And if it doesn't work, what you'll need to do is to go to the File tab up in the ribbon, down the left-hand side, all the way down to Options. In the Excel Options dialog box, go to Advanced, and you'll see the option Enable Autocomplete for Cell Values. If this is unchecked, then that means that the feature that I just showed you will not work. So you want to make a change here probably. I think most settings of Excel, this is the native setting, so it probably is on anyway. But if the feature I just showed you doesn't work, again, it's File, Options, Advanced, Enable Autocomplete for Cell Values. So I've seen different techniques here for reducing the amount of time it takes for data entry.